rant on, well, I guess it wouldn't be a rant, but it's definitely going to be raw, about what it's like to live with fibromyalgia, because I'm currently going through a flare. And to those who don't know, fibromyalgia is a central nervous system disease where basically your CNS is on turbo all the time. Everything picks up, and generally what it'll do is it'll shoot pain throughout your body like little lightning bolts, or at least that's how it is for me. Now, I want to preface this by saying your mileage may vary. Everybody experiences fibro a little different. A lot of people get brain fog. I don't tend to get brain fog. I tend to get what I call pain drunk, where I'm in so much pain that I get dizzy and stumbly and slurry and all that crap. The reason my voice sounds kind of crappy is because my lungs have been in the shitter for the last few days. That has nothing to do with the fibro. That's just my asthma being my asthma. So, yeah. So I got fibro when I was born, 3 months early, just, like everything else. And originally, when I was a kid, it was just back pain. And we didn't know it was fibro until I was 33, so I thought it was just everybody has back pain. Or it was because I was born early, so we didn't really think much of it. But I could never sleep at night. I was always exhausted, and it was, kind of a warning sign. There were a few other warning signs, like my skin being insanely sensitive to touch. Like, if somebody, brushed my skin, it would hurt. And a few other little things like that. But when I went to the psych ward when I was 16, the pain level bumped. When I went to jail when I was in my 20s, my pain level bumped again. When we moved up here to Washington, pain level bumped again. When we went to Arizona last year, pain level bumped again. Any kind of extreme stress will make your pain levels bump, because it never gets better. It just continually gets worse until you turn into what I call a pain pretzel. So, to describe what I end up going through, my lower back generally feels like there is a ball, like a rock in my lower back. On bad days, it feels like there's a rock with a bunch of glass stuck into it, and that's not fun. Also, with fibro, you end up getting arthritis symptoms, so my joints feel like they're swimming in water, and they feel swollen all the time, and I have to constantly pop them, per example. It's in my wrists and hands and elbows and hips and knee. Only one knee, interestingly. You also tend to get more muscle cramps, like Charlie horses, or in my case, I had a cramp in the heel of my foot, and it's finally getting better, thank God. That makes it very hard to go up and down stairs, which sucks because I live on the second story of this duplex, so. But the best way to treat fibro that I've found is, well, one, my doctor said get rid of all grudges, so I did that. And we tried a lot of pain pills. I was on Norco for a while, but all that did was mask it and make me high as a kite. Eventually, I found low-dose naltrexone, which you have to pay for out of pocket. Disability won't cover it, but it's only $40 a month, for me at least. Actually, I think it's $90 for 3 months now, so yay. It's used on opioid heads, on poppers who are trying to get off the opioid kick, because when you're addicted to opioids, the same kind of thing happens where your brain will just send out pain signals to get you to take your pain pills. Well, for fibro patients, it just sends out pain signals, but it's not that kind of high-grade, opioid addiction. It's just your brain being stupid. So, I think it's like 4 milligrams or 40 milligrams. It's really, really tiny dosage. 4.5 milligrams, I think that's what it is. And so I take one of those every night, and it makes me a little bit sleepy sometimes. And yeah. The worst part of the fibro, at least for last night, is you'll be almost asleep, and then all of your joints will just immediately start throbbing, and nothing you do you can't get comfortable for nothing because your damn joints are like throbbing into each other, and it's very, very annoying more than painful. Let me see what else. The pain itself, when it's not in the joints, when it's actually shooting pain, it feels like lightning bolts, and every so often it will get stuck in your joints, or it'll just feel like a lightning bolt just bouncing around in between all of your joints, and it's extremely painful. So there's that. One other thing that I found that does work is a boiling hot bath and shower. I mean, the hottest you can take it, because that seems to loosen the joints up. Cold weather will completely fuck it up, and we live in Washington State, and so we get snow and stuff. So interestingly, my lungs love the cold, my joints hate the cold, and vice versa. My joints love the heat, my lungs hate the heat. So I'm kind of fucked either way, aren't I? And the other thing that the doctor said was remove all stress. So, you know, it's impossible to do, especially in this fucking day and age with all the political bullshit and the mask bullshit and the COVID bullshit and everybody's tribalized and hating each other, and there's just a lot of anger kind of floating around the zeitgeist. And so if you do have fibro, you got to get away from that shit as much as you can and have a good distraction. Have a dog, have a partner, have a book, have an anime you watch, have a song you listen to, have something. Meditation doesn't work for me, but you know. And the other thing with fibro is you have to exercise. You have to work your joints out, otherwise you will become a pain pretzel, which is what I call where your joints do this shit. Fucking thing. Where they curl up and it's not fun. And they just kind of stay like that. You can't get the bastard things to move. And I used to walk 2 miles a day. I might get back to that at some point, but the pain levels have gotten so bad lately that I just can't. Now, luckily, we have a dog, so I've been playing with him, and actually, that's been working me out more. And then I've also got physical therapy to do. And I am firmly convinced that a well-functioning fibro patient becomes a masochist, because I don't know if everybody has this happen or if it's just me, but I hurt, but it's not my pain, it's my body giving me pain, and it pisses you off after a while, or at least it pissed me off after a while, to the point where I went, fuck you, body, if I'm going to hurt this badly, I'm going to do it to myself. So when the pain is up, I'll like go for a walk and I'll do extremely strenuous exercises, not enough to hurt me, like I'm not barrel rolling 50-pound weights around and shit. I'm just, you know, if I hurt badly enough, I'll go for a walk, or I'll do my rotator cuff injury exercises, which I got when we were moving. I was trying to help, and I helped too much, and I hurt my fucking shoulder. So, I handle the exercise aspect of it with spite. I handle everything with spite. It's on my fucking hand, in Braille. Spite on the left, pride on the right. So that's kind of what dealing with fibro is like. On the bad days, it is horrifically bad. Like, I can't play video games because my fingers are like constantly, they're not really doing it now, but they're constantly twitching, and I can't like get anything going because my fingers are busy doing their own thing. And so like today, I basically just watched an anime all day because I could not play games. I tried to distract myself with that, but it didn't work. So moral of the story, always have backup plans. So I saw a lot of people doing, what is it like being blind? What is it like having asthma? What is it like, all this other shit? And I didn't really see anything, what is it like having fibro? Where you get it, but it's this fucking corporatized, listicle, BuzzFeed style, doesn't really give you that much information. Whereas I wanted to give a raw, uncut account, being fucking neck deep in the damn fibro flare, and it's only gonna get better. So I did want to go through the timeline of the fibro flare, at least for this one. So last night around this time, actually, all of my joints flared, just whoop, they blew up. They felt like they inflated and started throbbing. So I took an ibuprofen and I managed to get to sleep around midnight. And today I woke up and everything was just swollen to hell. It wasn't throbbing, it was just swollen really, really badly. I took a hot shower and that managed to get it down a little bit, just enough to get physical therapy. Yay, an hour of strenuous exercise. Apparently, my physical therapist is amazed that I can power through so much pain, and it's like, well, like I said, if a functioning fibro patient is a masochist, if we're going to hurt that bad, we're going to do it to ourselves. And so I just power through it and then immediately just die at the end of it. Like, I fucking hobbled out of the hospital. So, let me think here. And then after this, tomorrow is going to be more swelling, more immobility. I'm going to have to do my exercises, the arm ones, and I'll probably have to play with the dog, so I'll get a little bit of exercise in. Not as much as I'd like, but more than I probably should do. And then the next day is going to be the recovery period, where everything is not as swollen, like it's coming down and it's not throbbing anymore, but it's stiff. And the only way I found to deal with the stiffness is to just soak in the tub even longer than normal. Get a longer shower, get as much hot water as you can on it, on everything, and try just to keep warm, keep bundled up. I have a big fuzzy robe that I use. I call it my pain robe. And after that, everything kind of calms its ass back down until the next weather pattern or the fly farts in Tanzania and your body decides to fuck you over again. I thank God I haven't gotten the brain fog yet, but if you get enough pain in you, your brain can't function because it's busy dealing with all the pain, so it'll fuck with you. You'll get fog, or you'll get pain drunk like I get, or you'll get pain dizzy and fucking fall over all the time. So, and it never gets better. And everybody is like, well, how do I deal with this disease? Oh, this is a fucked up joke. I say that fibromyalgia is actually worse than cancer, because cancer has the decency to kill you quickly. It's a fucked up joke, but it's mine. So, how do you deal with fibro? I deal with it with hate. If it fucks with me, I fuck with it back by hurting it more. Because I'm going to drag this body to 120. By hell or high water, I will drag it to 120. Because my body is trying to take control, and I'm going to take control. It's my body, not the other way around. It's stupid, but it works for me. And that's what it all boils down to. If you've got fibro, it's all about finding a mindset that works for you. If hatred works for you, fucking go for it. Just don't, unleash it on other people. Stick to yourself, And I mean, like, when I was a kid, I'll admit, back in the day, I used to cut a little, like, to even the pain out. And then I discovered exercising, and it's like, oh, this works a lot better. So, I do not advise to use cutting. I definitely advise to use exercise. Oh, that's something else. To help deal with fibro, find a distraction, but find a healthy distraction. Don't do what I did for way too long and use food. We still do, but not as much. Losing weight is hard, and losing weight on fibro is way harder. In my case, losing weight on fibro and asthma is way, way, way harder. So I don't advise using food. Get a pet, get a partner, get friends, get anything healthy. Or if you are going to be unhealthy, do it in moderation. Like I know booze will work. Like strong booze, I use whiskey. But I don't drink a shit ton of it, even though I can't get drunk. We've tried. In Scotland, yay. But like I'll pop a shot. Like if I'm having a really nasty day, it'll unwind it just a smidge, so that the pain's not ratcheting me quite so hard. So that's something to think about, but I definitely wouldn't use it as a primary. I would use it as in case of 9s and 10s. So that has been my rambly video. I hope you fellow fibro patients have found it helpful or enlightening or interesting. If you did, be sure to leave a like and a comment and all that, YouTube-y shit. And I have been Blind Ryan, and I will see you all next time. Where is that mouse? Is this it?